Let's bring in Dr. Ted Purcell. Thanks for the time today, Doc.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about this event, the Lap the Track Run, Walk, and Wheelathon, which is on July 17th. An event last year that raised some pretty good cash. Tell me about the event.
Okay. Well, the event is to raise awareness and funds for spinal cord research and treatment. There's a number of organizations that receive money from the event, including the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital, which is close to my heart. I'm past chair of the foundation board, and we've been involved with the Glenrose for many years. It's North America's largest freestanding hospital, and the Glenrose is a world leader in rehabilitation medicine. It's just a world-class center for innovation and research, and so we want to support it. I usually, with my son, we participated last year. The event this year is going to be similar to last year. It's a competitive 10K pledged run or 3.5 or 3.1K fun run, walk, or wheelchair. Now, my son has mobility issues and is not able to run, so I push him in his wheelchair. And last year we did the 10K. It was it was a real challenge to get through that last 2 or 3K because it was on a Friday night last year. It was pretty warm, but we had a wonderful time. It was just a great event. I mean, we have participated in other events around the city with his wheelchair, and this just seemed like a good fit. He's a patient at the Glenrose, and we wanted to help raise some money to assist others on their rehabilitation journeys and to help support research into spinal cord injuries.
Tell me about your son.
Well, Daniel is 17 years of age. He was a twin. We had twin boys that were born 3 months premature. And subsequent to their birth and discharge from the hospital, he spent their first 3 months in neonatal intensive care at the Royal Alec, and then were transferred to the Glenrose for follow-up. And it was there that we discovered that they had cerebral palsy, were affected by cerebral palsy. And it's interesting because we didn't know. They're 2 of 6 children, and they were the last 2, and all the other children had hit their milestones as far as the walking and moving. And we just discovered that wasn't the case with them. And I think, sometimes we certainly take things for granted and in life, with them reaching milestones and such. But then when we started to travel through the Glenrose and into the various requirements for their care, 1 in 6 Albertans experience a disability, and 15% of all children born in Alberta have a developmental disability. So if you think of that, that's a lot of children. That's your neighbor down the street. That's your uncle's son. That's your colleague at work. There's a lot of children here in the province with a disability.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed the number would be anywhere near that high.
Yes, yeah. Well, and we were certainly surprised. I mean, we were, often considered ourselves, and we are a normal family, but you just never know when things like this in life pop up, and we're certainly blessed to have them, and they've been just, wonderful with our family, and we just continue to have so much fun with them. And so it's kind of a real bonding experience too with Daniel and I, because what we will do is we'll train for some of these runs. We're down in the River Valley on weekends. We've got that flat path along River Valley Road that runs from Telus Field down to Government House, so we'll be out there on weekends with the wheelchair getting ready for the run in July.
It's kind of a neat story in that, as you kind of put it, it's time for you to bond with your son. I mean, if Daniel didn't have the illness, we all look for different ways to bond with our sons. Have you found this has made your relationship closer?
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, I tell you one thing, we're on the right radio station now. We talk a lot of sports. We talk a lot of sports on those runs. So it's a great time to spend some father-son time, and we really enjoy it and look forward to it. And that's part of what we get out of participating in these events. It's not only the run and the event and the benefit and the give we can give back to the community. The Glenrose has done so much for us, and we feel we want to give back to an organization that has been very supportive of our family. And, as I said, we want to certainly help support other families with their rehabilitation as well. So it's just, we have a great time. We had a great time last year at Lap the Track, and we're looking forward to having a great time, lots of fun with the with the training as I described, and we just had a wonderful time last year. It's a very unique venue. If you think it's on the racetrack where the Edmonton Indy is, and
yeah, brand new track this year
yeah,
too.
and it should be great. I mean, it was pretty bumpy. I mean, his wheelchair was thumping around pretty good. Those front wheels were rattling around pretty good. So, but we did learn, just like the race cars. I tell you, when you're going that far around 10K, not too far off, you're starting to think about what's the fastest way to get from this point to that point, get around the corner of the next point. So we were just like the old race car drivers. We didn't want to use any more energy than we had to. So we had that track, especially our second lap around. We had that track figured out pretty darn good as far as what angles and what corners we wanted to take.
Yeah, I as you were saying that, I was just thinking the same thing, that 10 kilometers is a long way. I'd be good at, about a half a kilometer, but Dr. Ted Purcell is with us. We're talking about an event that's called Lap the Track, Run, Walk, and Wheelathon on July 17th. Any kind of goals for a number of participants you're hoping for? I know there was 125 last year.
Yeah. Well, we would certainly like to see, upwards of 500 out this year. And, I'd certainly encourage folks that if they're tied up that weekend and not able to attend, and I'd certainly encourage them to, as I say, it's a very, very unique event just in the venue where it is on a racetrack, the view of downtown Edmonton. I mean, how many people in Edmonton have been able to stand on that course? It's just a real breathtaking view of downtown from the middle of the course. And just so unique, and so I'd certainly encourage folks to put it on the calendar. And if they can't participate, perhaps consider supporting somebody who can. And you can certainly, through the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital support, Daniel and myself, you can go to the website and or go to lapthetrack.com too for further information. So lots of ways you can participate, even if you're not actually there. Participate or support the event, even though you may not actually be there on the 17th.
Tell me where all the money raised will go and what it will help to do.
Well, what it will do is it'll go. Some of the proceeds will go to the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital Foundation. Some will go to Shoot for a Cure charity, and some to the Aaron Mosier Foundation. I'm sure a lot of folks are familiar with Aaron Mosier and the foundation that he's supported. And with respect to the funds, again, they will go to help support spinal cord research and treatment, and also, to help with rehabilitation as well. So it's very, very good cause, very good cause.
Appreciate your time today, Doc.
Okay, thanks so much, and thanks for your interest. And again, please, let's try and get the community. Let's try and hit that 500 mark this year.
What's the website again where they can get involved?
It's Lap the Track, all one word, no spaces, no hyphens, no anything, just lapthetrack.com.